Watch out.
Attack commencing. Escort the payload.
Activating the barrier. Back to me. Give me a moment to think. Barrier won't hold together. Barrier no longer exists.
Go damage boost McCree.
I need heal.
Behind shield roll.
Chunk slow on the right.
Go Ryan, go Ryan. He's right behind you.
Barrier is about to break. Enemy turret ahead.
Behind behind. Like all the way behind.
Push in, push in.
Behind behind you, Sigma.
Ah, fuck, I'm dead. You guys win that?
Barrier unstable. Barrier is destroyed.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, looking alright so far.
You're on Genji.
Work on the we gotta work on the eat usage a little bit more here, as well as rocks have been like kind of again half on, half off.
There's a Ryan on the right.
Genji's dead.
That makes sense. Yeah. I'm looking for a flux here.
Make sure you're looking
Yeah,
to
there we
combo.
go.
Make sure you're looking to combo your flux with something. So, for example, we have a high noon that we can just call a combo
Yeah.
with.
Kree, you ready, high noon?
No, there's come everywhere. You ready?
Someone on payload.
I'm getting cart. Genji's
Kree, alright, Kree, you ready?
yeah.
Mercy?
I got two. Oh no. That one didn't even mean to rasp that. Rock, come on, Rock.
Nice block.
Super on purpose. I need help with this Ryan in here. He's one. He's getting this many.
You just rush him down. When he's that low, you don't need to worry about going at him.
Okay, I can just.
Yeah, you just run. Yeah, you
punch him.
just run straight into him.
There's someone here.
Nope, nope. Oh my, I don't know how to miss me. There's a Genji in the right.
Bap has no lamp.
I probably could have seen that coming. Genji, get on the right.
Okay.
Push him, push him. Go Sigma, Sigma.
Activating the barrier. Barrier destroyed.
Genji's behind.
I'm just gonna flex this.
Okay, very good flux usage. Alright, we gotta make sure that you're paying attention to people when they're out of position, as there's been multiple times where we've had, like, a tank, for example, who's been super far forwards right next to us, but we just haven't looked at them. So we gotta make sure that we're not just tunnel visioning on the front line, but we're paying attention to people when they're a little bit out of position, like the Genji is on your right now. Right?
Right. Yeah. I don't know how that happened a lot, and that was a little surprising.
So gotta be aware of what's happening around us. So far, fluxes have been great. Good timing on them, as well as good. Got a bunch of people in them. Ability usage has been okay. We've hit a few rocks, hit a few good eats. I think. All right. Honestly, that was a really good round. It wasn't a big standout issue there.
There is no obligation for the universe to make sense to you.
A moment to enjoy something is required. Probably just a moment, though.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
If this isn't working, I'm gonna go Zarya.
Sigma probably work with this comp a lot better anyways because we're on mostly a spam comp. Have we talked about all the different comps before? I think you said you'd understood them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't even need to go over them. So yeah, you just gotta make sure we're playing as a spam comp here, and it honestly would probably work better if we stayed on Sigma over Zarya.
Mm-hmm.
Damage amplified.
Stop the payload.
Barriers under heavy fire. Barriers about to break.
This is one. I couldn't kill it.
Zarya, no personal.
It's just so simple.
Oh, my bear's dead.
Yeah, I'm just missing a few shots right now. Concentrate on the mechanics.
My bear's dead. Soldier on the right. I left that out. Oh no. Soldier and Zarya in the right room. Not bad. That's bad. Zarya half. I'm gonna flex.
Okay, team more rolls it there a little bit, especially with the Mercy and Baptiste. So when you see that you're winning a fight, or like you see they're all shattered, and you're about to Sigma Flux them, say, no, souls, right, we won. Okay, that way these guys aren't over-ulting in a fight where that's very obviously won. That way we actually have ults for this fight.
Yeah. Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yep. Look to make sure you're measuring your aggression as well with your E and your shield availability. So don't push super aggro if you don't have those. Oh. Hello?
Hey, yes.
Oh,
hello?
your stream cut out and then I can hear you now.
Oh, perfect. Good.
I'm gonna blade.
It's back.
I think Soldier's going top left.
You're both heals.
I was trying to get those Zarya. That was bad. Oh, I'm letting my shield recharge.
Zarya grabbed it, right?
They did grab, yeah. Nice stun. That's bad shield management. Why did I do that? It worked out, I guess.
Alright, so never mind, I'll talk about it
shift.
after this game's done.
So hopefully in 30 seconds.
Yep.
30 seconds remaining.
I can flex this fight. I can do it after you shatter.
Alright.
Oh my gosh.
This is going up 2 rounds.
No way, dude.
Well, look to get some more height when you're going for it, as well as just kind of pull back a little bit. Try not to get close to people because it allows them to stun you. We also kind of ran into it too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I need to build this bubble.
Junk's dead.
Killed me on accident.
Elementary application.
All right.
This thing like killed me on accident.
So
GG.
let's do a quick kind of roundup of what I'm analyzing and looking at right now. So far it's looking like there's no areas that we're pretty much struggling in. There's no real big major category, and there's also no big major category that we are thriving in. It looks like right now the biggest thing that we're struggling with is inconsistencies. Getting better at the game is a lot about kind of consistency, is making sure that you're doing good at most of the time, right? Because even professional players make mistakes, but the difference between you and a pro player is that they make a lot less mistakes. So, for example, right, let's take a look at your ability usage. So, half the time you have fantastic rocks and you have fantastic eats and fantastic shield placement, but then the other half of the time they're just lacking a little bit, right? We miss the rocks, or we don't get anything with our eat, or our shield placement, we just forget about our shield. Same thing
Yeah.
with our mechanics. Half the time we're hitting every single shot, and then half the time we're missing every single shot. Ultimates, actually, I'd probably say ultimates is the one that we are thriving with right now. We are having really good ultimate placement and timing. Awareness, I think we have good team fight awareness. We're understanding when we're winning or we're losing. We have, but we had poor awareness when it came to where were the enemy teammates at, or enemy players at. So, right now the biggest thing we're gonna need to work on is just there's no big main category that we're struggling with. We're doing good in ultimates, but we are just going to have to make sure that we're getting more consistent in each individual category, right? So making sure that we're mastering these so that we're continuously getting rocks good, continuously getting eats good, and so forth about all the different areas that we talked about. Not just good once in a while or good half the time, right? Because the if we can get good at those all the time, that's where we actually become a good player. Is when we can iron in those consistencies. So you can probably go ahead and look to get into a queue. I don't have anything to demonstrate. Usually all the demonstrations are tapped out after the first couple of sessions.
Understandable.
So yeah, that's kind of where we're looking at right now. So
Okay.
how we can go about applying that, because that's gonna be difficult, because that's basically me saying, yeah, just
Be
get good at
better.
just be better,
Yeah.
just good at everything. So what's probably gonna work best for you is if you focus in on each separate category separately, right? Is work on them one at a time. So um start off with ability usage. So first off, focus on making sure we're consistently hitting rocks and eats and placing our shields correctly, so we can focus on those three and make sure that we're mastering those. And once we have those down, we can move on, and then we can go to mechanics and go, okay, let's make sure we're hitting shots consistently, right? So we just go through one, then the other, right? And make sure we're focusing on each thing especially and not autopiloting, and then hopefully that's how we can get to be more consistent in all those different categories.
Okay. Yes. I can do that.
Alrighty. So let's take a look at Zarya then.
I can't do much up there anyway, but yeah, I've definitely been working on my Zarya big time. I said that last time. Well,
Yeah.
I said I was working on my Zarya, but my bubble usage was terrible.
Yeah.
My bubble usage is better, but we will see now. We will see.
Ball's low.
Genji, right? I'm gonna drop when I get to the corner.
But that's only
Drop when it gets to the other side. You don't want to drop early here.
Oh, you don't want to drop, like, you want it, like, on the other side over there?
Yeah, you hold the high
Okay.
ground here. You don't want to drop into them. Unless you're on a full brawl.
Oh, man.
Alright, analyze your
That was...
team comp real quick. We're like, we have very
Very
wacky team
spammy.
comp. Yeah, we have a spam, but then we're also a little bit of brawly too. We have a Lucio, Zarya, Sigma. So we can probably play a little bit faster into them than they're playing. They're playing a dive, it looks like. Look to run into their people who are on cart, especially.
Yeah, that was a bad bubble too. At this point, I'm just. That was stupid. I'm just panic holding there. That was bad. I could have done better.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
good.
this guy swapped hog, which is a little bit more brawly.
This fight is not over.
Alright.
Alright. Even when your team's grouping up, keep pushing forward and just peek for a bubble, right? You don't need to wait
Yeah.
for your team. Just peek the doorway, let them all look at you. Besides that, they're just being aware of the mines not walking to them, and then the Farah got kind of peeked and got you.
Yeah.
I need healing. We might prefer a mercy to this Lucio, I'm gonna be honest.
Alrighty. Really gotta focus on some bubbles here because bubbles.
Yeah.
This is a very difficult comp to get bubbles against, but they have a Farah, so we can. Oh, actually, now they have a Reaper, right? We're a little far forwards there. Gotta be careful of us pushing that far forwards because we could have been caught out easily.
Holy cow.
Remember, bubbles
this-
are when people are looking and shooting at you, right? We're not bubbling when nobody's on top of your soldier, when you're behind cart, right? When nobody has a line of sight on you. We need to make sure people are able to shoot at us. That's why when we bubble, oftentimes you can get super aggressive with it, and then
need a mercy.
that way people actually look at you.
And we might be
Can't-
messing up our Ana because there's You're in with please.
Check out this gun.
Get on site, get on site, get on.
Yeah, Zarya probably say is not the same as Sigma. We're not. It's just not just inconsistencies we're struggling with. Looks like we have decent mechanics. But big thing is just we're not landing any good bubbles, and then that means that we're constantly at 0 energy. We have 11 average energy right now, right? And then that just does a whole lot to affect our gameplay.
I'm not gonna grab here. This is awful. This is absolutely awful.
Alright, there just, keep in mind you don't have a shield tank, and we're playing out in the open a little too much. Make sure you're playing next to cover. There, we looked very kind of hesitant with the grab usage, and then we kind of stayed out in the open for too long. So play a little bit more passive and then aggressive when you're looking to use bubble. Or sorry, not bubble, when we're looking to use grab. Right, because we were kind of just played passive, but passive out in the open. So we were kind of we weren't looking to use grab, but we also weren't playing safe, and then that meant that they were very easily allowed to damage us. So we just gotta be very careful of that.
Yep.
They have an Ursa.
Gonna blade in a second here.
Versus low. Versus low.
All right. Make sure you're getting. We're waiting on our eats a little too long, and we end up using it after they've stopped shooting at us. So make sure we're using same thing as bubbles. We're using it when there's people shooting at us, and it seems like we're not really a good judge of when people are actually looking or shooting at us. So really concentrate on that.
Come on.
Right. So take a deep breath. It's something like we're getting flustered right when we have
Yeah, I'm bugged by this other tank that's played 4 different tanks in one round.
Which, remember, you can't control that. You're not going to see the Steam tank in your next game, especially if you avoid them. Every player is going to get the same bad tank. This guy's going to be in somebody else's game. So therefore, really focus on yourself and what you could be doing better, not how this guy's doing bad, right? Because, of course, he's doing bad. So instead, focus on what you could be doing better. Right, so when we're looking at our gameplay, right, unfluster yourself, right? Take a step back, take a deep breath, take this next 40 seconds to go walk around your room if you need to, right? We just need to get back in the game, focus on what we need to focus on. Grasps need a lot of work right now because it's kind of the same concept as our bubbles, is we're not using it when people are actively shooting at us, right? You can tell when people are shooting at you because they look at you. When we see 5 people are looking at us and we see bullets coming our way, right? We see the bullet streams, we see projectiles, we see all this damage coming at us. That's when we use bubble. That's when we use the our eat. But instead, we kind of let that all happen to us, and then 3 seconds after that happens, when everyone starts focusing on something else, that's when we decide to use bubble. Is it kind of when it's too late, when people have stopped looking at us, when people have stopped shooting at us. So we gotta make sure that we're really timing it for when we are taking damage.
Okay. Makes sense. That was just a bad round for me. Certainly bad.
Yep, but you can always get better this round, right? As long as you're concentrating. Step in front of your Reinhardt. Look for a bubble. Oh, good bubbles.
Or is down there by himself?
Barry's dead.
You're going to be okay.
Hog flanking, hog flanking.
Hog above.
Nice kill.
Shield's going down. Take him on the right.
Genji on card. Keep
Target
focusing,
priorities. Go for the Mercy.
not that guy. Mercy.
And you get super aggro on those guys with your Reinhardt. Again, focus the guys out of position.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
Get out of there.
big thing there is target priority. Make sure you're focusing the right targets. The fight before we were, I don't think we were listening to our audio, and our Genji bladed. So just keep in mind that's a perfect opportunity to go for a bubble, right?
Okay.
Press tab here. He's coming up on another nano blade, right? We make sure we're focusing him so we can land the bubble on him, and that way we get some energy and keep him alive.
He's anti.
He's playing up top.
Alright, Anna, you with me? I'm gonna dive up. 3, 2, 1.
Ash is up top.
Yeah, I'll go here. We're
I'm not doing
looking
much
for
here.
energy. Okay,
Again.
press tab. Do we have anything to combo with our crab? Not really. Right.
Sorry, no personal? I can get that Genji.
Make sure we're looking to use grab. We're holding on to it a little bit. Besides that, yeah, we just
Got
struggle.
lucky.
Yeah, besides that, we struggle a little bit with the bubbles on just the. While we were trying to. Sorry, in between fights there, my words aren't working.
Yeah.
Just gotta make sure we're keeping up energy in between fights as well.
Let them be. They have a Mercy there. Being dumb.
Looking for a grab.
Genji's one, dude.
Ash behind. Ash is behind. I don't know why she's staying in there so long.
Yeah, we can't contest. I'm going different.
She's not good, but she's getting powered up on Mercy.
Yeah, I know.
I killed the Mercy. We just need to regroup anyway.
Alright, here we go.
And don't back up when you still have half a bubble left, right? We can still get energy out of the other half, so stay in and push forward so they still shoot at the rest of it.
Oh, fuck. I just...
Ryan, I don't have a ball for you.
Genji top right.
Still going down.
Big. Fuck.
I can't do anything. I shouldn't have even bubbled there.
Dein Schutzengel ist da. My will is unbreakable.
Genji here. Each one.
You ready for Nano Blade?
I'm even stronger.
Yeah, everyone, for late this fight, look for it on your Genji. You don't really even worry about your Reinhardt here with it.
I'm going up top to contest them.
Alright, Nano me.
Why did you...
Right in the back, purple.
Side behind. Reinhardt outside behind. You guys don't have a healer.
And watch your health. Can't be pushed forward right now. We don't have a
Stay
support.
There, stay there. Same point.
Right, rather than trying to push cart there, we probably could have left it to our team and gone for like the Mega, for example. Alright,
Okay.
so just watch your health, look for a pack.
Catch it, catch it.
They're anti. Reinhardt's anti. Sleeping.
Alright, so that's how easily games can flip around, right? Better
Yeah.
time than them. So just take a deep breath when you feel like you're getting overwhelmed, and then come back into the next round with an even better gameplay. Yeah, of course, these games aren't the best to review, as they're, when you know that you're doing bad, there's, you don't need somebody else to tell you that you're struggling with your bubbles. So,
Yeah.
that's really the main issue here. Then on top of that, probably say we have good general mechanics. We're tracking very well. We need to work on our target priority a little bit and making sure we're shooting at the right things, and not just focusing on tanks all the time, but we're shooting at supports and DPS when they present themselves. And then besides that, general game sense and awareness, we held on to Graph for too long at one point there.
Yeah.
We ended up once in a while pushing too aggressively when we should have played passive, and played too passive when we should push aggressively.
I feel like it's easier to heal entire
And whatnot there.
The team's more coordinated.
But biggest issue is just making sure we're getting high energy, because we're still averaging 16.
One healer can
Yeah.
help with the other.
Which
I
is
know I
much
can do it.
which is much better than 11, right? So we did
Yeah.
better this round, but we just need to get even higher than that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
You also make sure you're keeping up the quantity as well, because I noticed we were holding on to it for a few times,
Damage boost McCree, damage
bubbles wise.
Okay. Yeah.
If Zarya's just firing into your front line like that, time your bubbles when Farah's shooting her rockets in. If she's just spamming shields like that, you can bubble your Reinhardt.
Pop stuff last time.
Shield's broken.
Yeah, all anti.
Hey,
Think we could die?
I need heals.
Hey, yeah. Can see you. I'm the only one up top.
Oh man,
Everybody jumped down.
Bubble your Mercy there, and then that can maybe get her out alive. Maybe let her go for a res. There, like, you know, when people are dying, those are times where they took a bunch of damage, right? So if somebody just died, that's in it. That's a, you know how we've talked about, you know, when you die, that's a way that we can tell that we messed up, that we were out of position. When a teammate dies right next to us, that's where we can go, snap, we should have bubbled them, because that would have been good tanking, that would have been good energy. So pay attention to that as well, and that's how you can self-improve and look for better situations to bubble.
There's one.
I can't kill like when there's a shield. Break the shield, please.
If I could get healed, I could.
Fall behind.
I got blade if you could revive, but. Yeah, I don't know.
Team kill.
Okay, we got the Nano Blade online.
Has reached
You can maybe get one round off of bubbles off early, and then the second one goes on Genji. Or if you feel like you're gonna engage early with the bubbles, then you just go on Genji right away.
okay.
Okay, it looks like since you're coming out as a full group, that you're just gonna go for Genji right away.
I don't even see her, Genji.
Never mind, he's dead. Right to her left.
All anti.
Pay
Oh,
attention.
Deb.
My shit's broken.
Right, that's good. Right there, we just baited out 4 ultimates from them. Or 3 or something like that. So that means we come in the next fight, we have a bunch of ults here.
We have ults, we have ults.
I'm gonna touch. I'm gonna touch.
Helden sterben nicht. My will is unbroken.
They're just gonna cancel my ult. Like I said,
Barriers on.
Stay on it, stay on it, stay on it.
Right, our team's staggering right now. The only thing we can do in this scenario is identify that we're staggering and then communicate it with people. We should not have gone for a recontest there because we couldn't all recontest at once. If you can only, we did not need to take that fight, yet we just used 3 ultimates, right? We could have waited for the next fight, coming in to 6 people, but we keep trying to go in one by one. So tell them to group up, make sure we're not going in without people, and wait for a full 6. Like even right now, we're not going in with a full 6. So
They're breaking my shit.
okay, got a personal bubble there. Besides that, we got blown up very fast.
they're anti.
Practice makes perfect. Nanoboost administered.
Alright,
Woo, baby!
saved by the bell.
Not a woo, baby. We
That's
got
not a
rolled.
woo.
Big
We
thing
got
there
fucking
was,
rolled.
first off, we held on the grab. Second off, our team was completely out of sorts. Only thing we can do in that scenario is communicate.
didn't
Say, hey guys,
stop their
don't go
position
in. Call them out by
a
name. Say,
single
Genji,
time.
don't go
They
in.
literally
Back up.
fucking
Group
walked
up,
at
guys.
us.
You only have 2 people.
Yeah,
Like,
I
give
know,
them
but
the
I'm saying
explanation,
that
right?
they
You're
did it
walking
all
in a 2v6. So, in that scenario, tell them that they should back out. Tell them why if they, like, you know, just add that in real quick. Don't go in, you're down 2 people, right? That way they pay attention. Because we just kept continuously taking fights where we were down people, and we were just grouping up, and then that meant we kept losing over and over again.
Yeah.
So on top of, you know, first you need to even identify that in the first place, which we've talked about, how to know whether or not you're winning or losing fights. The same concept applies to it when you're first coming into a fight. If you're walking into a fight down 3 people, or walking into a fight down 2 people, then you've pretty much lost the fight before you've even started. So don't look to walk into fights where you're down that many people. Identify that and call it out to your team. Make sure you're looking behind you. Make sure you're paying attention to the respawn timers and all that jazz. And then that way you'll be more coordinated with your team.
Right, yeah.
Okay. I can do that. That's a good start.
And we probably look to go up like top right or
There's
something
Mo
like
again.
that. Go in the stairway.
Somebody can play Sombra. I'll counter
Nope.
Genji and him.
I'll play Sombra. If
Go stairs. Make them shoot at them. Make them
the
look
thing
at you,
is,
and then we
dude,
bubble.
there's a
We need to
Pharah.
take.
Oh, never mind. They're
No,
below
no,
you.
Genji's
They're
not-
down 2 players. Then
So do you want me to hack the Pharah or the ball?
You can probably drop into them here.
Maybe
Like just
Genji can split.
get the energy in line.
Probably paper, rock,
Yeah,
paper,
that's
scissors,
what
guys.
I'm saying, dude.
Oh, yep.
Like Genji's, you're good at Genji and all, but like.
My bad, miscommunication. Drop into them, but play safe when you're dropping in, right? So
Yeah.
drop in front of them. Don't get super aggro. You want to be able to get out when you drop in.
You're a one trick. Okay.
Yep.
Dang.
You're welcome.
Somebody's sleeping. I don't know which one. Though. They're really gonna do this. We have a shield. That's why.
They're down a tank.
Remember, not every single bubble needs to go onto your hog. So keep an eye on situations where other people might need your bubbles. So when your Mercy's being shot at, you can give Mercy a bubble so that she can res. Genji a bubble when he's going for blade. There's a lot of when just any teammate is low and about to die.
I
Damn
think
card.
Genji's flanking you guys.
He's like 1. He's anti.
Are we down bubbles? So we need to play a little bit passive.
That ball's my problem. Just going for me. Going for your kill.
I can't.
I don't think I can kill Zarya or whoever that is. Moira.
Genji, I have nano. Just give me a second.
I'm about to die, honestly.
Okay. Again, gotta pay attention to the guys that are within range that are right next to us. So far is kind of hovering around their head for a little while. A lot of times it feels like we don't want to turn our head away from just straight forwards. Make sure looking around you. I haven't really seen us do a 360 once this game, right? So turn left, turn right. Make sure you're paying attention to where your team's at. Look behind you. Look up. They have a Pharah. Right. If we're full energy and Pharah's right above us, we can beam her down super easily. We just gotta pay attention. There's when their Genji ulted, he dashed to your high ground, but we didn't really look through walls to see who's he actually going on. Like,
Yeah.
is Genji just gonna dash at nothing when he's blading? Right? We gotta look. Is Genji dashing at my teammates? Do I have to bubble anything? So look at the high ground. Go, okay, do I have any teammates there? Should I look for bubble on somebody? Right? It feels like a lot of our awareness issues are coming from the fact that we're not doing anything but just looking straight forwards all the time. So really pay attention to that. I'd also once in a while look to go on an off angle, especially when you have a main tank. That's a big one. You can't really do that as easily when you're acting as the main tank. But if you have somebody on the front line, look to go do something on an off angle. You can create pressure from a different angle. An off angle is short, an off angle is safe. So look to just go on take a different angle from the front line so that you can create a crossfire effect. Right? They have to turn half of their attention, look at you. That creates less pressure on you and less pressure on your team, and it means that you can bypass shields and get straight to their supports. A lot of the time we're just stuck sitting as shields, just stuck sitting at tanks, right? When there's DPS jumping around their head, when we have supports in our face, right? We're just a lot of times not able to kill anything because we're not really looking for the opportunities and putting ourselves in positions to kill the other things.
Okay.
All right. What do we have? We have 18 minutes left. So probably look to get into one more game.
Oh.
Oh, looks like it's gonna cancel.
Hmm.
Or maybe it'll just take a while.
Not a good sign.
Oh,
Weird.
Welcome to Blizzard World. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
I think a good idea might be to next time maybe go over some or like go over some footage from maybe like a Overwatch League player or streamer playing Zarya.
Oh my
And
god, I
then
just
that way we
noticed
can
Snapchat
see
Christmas.
especially
I love
when
it.
are they
This is
bubbling,
amazing.
when are they going on off angles, when are they doing what, right? And then we can just like analyze some gameplay from that, and then
Okay.
that way we get a grasp on what you should be looking to do, rather than just
How's everyone
going
doing?
over what you should not be doing, right?
Give it your all.
That sounds good.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Reinhardt,
Is incoming. Defend.
Hanzo.
Lonzo, Lucio.
Lucio.
Yeah, the second they start shooting down here, we're looking for bubbles, right? Because we can get 2 rounds in here before the fight actually starts, right? Oh, unless our Reinhardt gets hooked.
I thought they should go through.
Ryan is really low. I don't know where our Ryan is.
Your Reinhardt died. You don't always have to look for your and Reinhardt's and your teammates' bubbles separately. Remember, you can use those abilities both at the exact same time, right? It always looks like we go for one, then the other, then one, then the other. You know, that's how you can use it to kind of spread them out. But if they're needed at the same time, use them at the same time. So if your Reinhardt's gonna die, if he doesn't get a bubble him. Even if it's not kind of going back and forth. So really make sure you're looking for the protection out of your bubbles as well as just energy.
Kill's going down.
Okay, good energy so far. We're down some people, so we're just looking to group up. But we're very high energy so far, so we've gotten some good bubbles in.
Yeah, watch out.
That hog is going to.
Then, well, just keep backing out.
Yeah, right now take high ground. We can take a kind of an angle above them to shoot at them from. Top right probably would have been shorter.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I'm down here now.
I've had dragons for 2 minutes.
That was bad. That was an accident. Oh.
Okay, make sure we're working towards, especially on those points where we have very easy off angles. Probably should have kept backing up there. Probably could have escaped with our energy. Looked at combo with the Hanzo Dragon here for this fight. You can go through even a beat with that. Besides that, we're falling into the same thing over and over again. Whenever you have off angles to go for, try to get on the supports and DPS. Don't just keep staring at tanks, because we've not shot at anything but the tanks. When we're at 100 energy, we can very, very fast melt through these other characters.
That's the beat. Oh my god. Don't grab him up there. I'm ready if we need to grab.
I don't think we need to do this fight.
Crease flanking Esmond.
I think we've talked about this before, but remember to right-click melee when you're like finishing somebody off, right? That way you get the burst damage in.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
But you can see how fast you melt when you're at a high energy on a squishy target. Just make sure we're doing that more often. And we're looking to put ourselves in positions where we do that more often, right? We'll better talk about that next time when we review some other gameplay.
Help on cart. Grabbing cart. Gosh darn it.
You know, your team is super far back there, right?
So their tanks are just gonna walk all
When we see our team super far back like that, we might want to consider not being that close.
Damn, I like that grab, man. You gonna save it for next round? Ali.
Complete.
Gotta play safe when we see that we don't have team support, and then you know, on top of that, grab.
Yeah.
Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Crusader online.
Attack commences in 30 seconds.
Together, we are strong.
Friends, watch resources standing around. There's glory to be won. Hold up now.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, kind of same thing here. We can look for first round bubbles early, second round right when we're approaching. Again, don't back up when you still have some left on your bubble.
Shield going.
Hug the hook.
Okay, there we just held on to bubbles for like 6 seconds even after we had both of them. Right?
We should not be on down.
Somebody get him a...
He's going melee the right.
Right. Make sure you're not playing super aggro. Use bubbles. Make sure you're reloading. Right there, we just got caught out and hooked.
Agna hook.
Objective A captured. Escort.
Hawkeye's hook again. Agna hook.
You're trying to take a duel against
Yeah.
multiple people there. Watch where your team's at. If you're going in and it's like a 1v2 or a 1v3, you're at the disadvantage there. Especially if you're going in as zero energy.
Yeah. That was bad.
Shield.
Yeah, we have anything in combo with Graph here.
Tire.
You also do with Window too. We're just down a bunch of people right now, so probably want to be looking to. Oh.
Are you ready, Tyre? Oh, well, zoning ult.
Give Shatter. I can flash out his shield.
Does anyone want to deal with
Okay.
that Hanzo?
Us taking high ground there means that we just miss out on time where we probably could have gotten in a first round of bubbles during kind of the poke fight, right?
Yeah.
While they're walking back from spawn. So that meant we came in with 0 energy to the fight. Other than that, what was my other point? I had one other point. I can't remember though. Oh, yep, that thing. When you're going to the high ground, use the right-clicking at the ground, right, to just do that faster. We were kind of slow about it just because we weren't doing that.
Any shield?
Step right up.
Alright.
Barrier activated.
Okay, cover usage. High noon's a really good kind of measurer of how we're using cover. If we're out in the open, we got a high noon. If we're not out in the open, we're able to get behind cover easily.
You're fully hit.
Don't hold back.
Either one of their hitters is dead.
Yeah, that was a lucky ball.
Go for him.
Okay, right now we can be looking for some energy bubbles, right?
Can we not let him do that? Like, you wanna do anything, right? Like, turn around, maybe shield just a tad. There's still McCree behind you.
Anna somewhere.
Sorry.
Yeah, and you stood there, and that absolutely fucking just like normal.
You could say, hey, he's behind me, and I would have turned around.
Yeah.
Not my problem.
And you just proceed to stand apart like a fucking bud. Nice.
Sorry, on the right.
Why are we tired?
Okay, call for
Just like
grab window or grab nano. You can use everything here. Grab nano high noon. Grab nano high noon. That's what you should be calling.
Hey, grab high noon. Where's this Anna? Right here.
I'm going.
Get that Ryan. Got it. Okay, good.
Come on. Where's the rest of my team?
Okay, just make sure before you're in the fight that your combo is kind of planned out, because when it's not, then grab doesn't get any value. We ended up grabbing and nothing died because of the fact that we didn't combo correctly, right? If we grab, then high noon gets a ton of value because they can't run away from it. And if we nano that high noon, then he's gonna kill everything, even if they have shields, even if they, and it gives them survivability. So grab nano high noon is a really good combo there.
I don't know why my team's running away.
Okay, keep in mind you do have 10 seconds there, right? You don't have to touch at 10 seconds. You touch at 3 seconds, right? Because
Yeah.
in that situation, you don't want to touch with 10 seconds left. You want to touch with some time to work with. That way you're not running in and dying and then dying at like 5 seconds. So you don't touch the very last second. Alrighty, so big difference between I'd probably say out of the two, we are much better at Sigma. Big difference between the kind of what we need to improve on. Sigma's consistency. Zarya is bubbles as the main one. Off angles, knowing what to do on Zarya. Um, Whereas Sigma, we kind of have a really good grasp on what we should be doing and how we should be using our abilities. We just are working on the application process. Zarya feels like we're struggling in a lot of different areas, and I think next time it'll help a little bit if we go over some gameplay of how should a Zarya be playing. Ready? I'm gonna